When you look at the mind, the body, and the soul, so we talked about the soul, that's more of that higher level function connected to infinite intelligence. The answer arrives. You're able to be in the flow of life. Like it's pretty magical. Then there's the body, which is the physical aspect of ourselves that moves us from point A to point B, and we interact, and we get to, this is how we get to have these experiences. This is the car that we're driving. The mind is a product of the whole dance. The mind is a product of that whole dynamic. So the mind comes into play where, again, we're moving from point A to point B. We're perceiving new things. We've got to do this, this, and this to support our larger goals. But the problem is that if we don't have coherence and an understanding of what aspect of us we should be listening to for certain things, then an ego can develop in terms of that mind aspect of yourself having too much power and control. Because that's where you run into the problem, is when the ego starts to, again, get into its pattern of overthinking, anxiety, fear, that is just a function of those three entities being all together. So that's why the balance between the mind, body, and soul is so important. But the ego comes into play when we have that mind aspect of it that has no boundaries to it, and that we really don't understand, how all three of them function.